Thank you so much for giving more than 3,000 likes in my last video. Please keep loving any summary like this. In the last part Hiyama was ready to use the comb. Now Inoue gives the comb to Hiyama. After this Hiyama runs towards Ushio. But the bridge was broken. So Hiyama rushes towards him at high speed. Seeing this, Jun and Hinawa take down the barrier. And Hiyama uses the comb. But during this the bridge also breaks. Now Ushio's hair was getting less. So his face starts coming back. On the other hand, Heiyu were also trying to come near Ushio. Due to which, the barrier created by Shigure and others starts breaking. So Nagare asks all the girls to hurry. Suddenly Ushio changes again and runs away from here. Now Tora starts thinking, I should just give up on turning Ushio back into a human, and eat Inoue now? Here Inoue is trying to cross the river. She is about to fall into the river. But Tora pulls him up and says, if you get all dirty you will taste bad. Just then Nakamura tells Tora, you saved me before, thank you very much. Now Inoue starts saying, Tora saved you before too. He is such a good guy. So I'm sure, he will help us all again this time too. Now this upsets Tora, and Izuna was having a lot of fun. But many Heiyu were coming over here. Due to which the barrier starts weakening, and a yokai comes to attack them. Just then Satoru's Shikigami arrives and saves them. Hiyama gives the comb to Inoue. Then Hinawa tells that Ushio is going to a cave. But we don't know where. At the same time Jiame appears, and starts taking them towards the cave. She tells them, you have started combing his hair. So you have to finish quickly, otherwise his consciousness will never return. But Tora could not understand why the spear is heading there. Then Jiame tells, a part of the beast spear's mortal enemy, Hakumen, is there, so it is probably heading toward that scent. After some time, they arrive the cave. Just then, they start hearing the voice of beast spear. Now Tora and Inoue go towards that voice, where Ushio was standing in a very strange way. Then Tora says, I'm just gonna have to turn you back to normal, and eat the both of you. After this Ushio starts saying, a part of Hakumen is nearby, don't get in my way. Seeing this, Tora tries to stop him with his lightning power, but the beast spear bends his power on him. Suddenly Ushio comes to attack Inoue as well, but Inoue turns comb in front of him, whose power stops the attack of beast spear. But now Inoue was hanging down here. Now she is about to fall down, but Tora saves her. Tora appears in front of Ushio, after which he comes to attack them again. Because of this, Tora gets angry, but he allows Ushio to stab him, and immediately grabs Ushio, after which Inoue combs his hair, and now she gives it to Nakamura. On the other hand, Heiyu were trying hard to break the barrier, so Shigure decides to run away from here for now, because he was planning to cast a barrier on the cave. But Heiyu were now very close to them. That's why, they immediately create the barrier again. Now Ushio attacks Tora, but his face starts changing. Seeing this, Nakamura understands that he is turning back into human. But now group of Heiyu also starts coming towards him, because they want to destroy Beast Spear. Seeing this, Izuna and the others get worried. Suddenly a seal gets activated here, because of which group of Heiyu is unable to come forward. Then it turns out that Heiyu has also come here, who is a powerful exorcist, and it was he who put the seal here. But still Heiyu can't hold them for long. Just then something starts happening in Ushio's body, and he feels that his body is disappearing. The strange man starts saying that your soul has been stolen by the spear. There's no way for you to return to being human again. Just then Jiame appears in front of him and says, I understand your hatred towards Hakumen, but please, stop sacrificing people's souls for that purpose, and disappears from here. Ushio then comes to his consciousness and tells Nakamura, it hurts. Then Nakamura says, you are stupid, thoughtless, restless, and quick to fight, but I prefer that Ushio, so please come back. Suddenly Ushio changes again, and starts heading towards the cave to finish Hakumen's part. But Nakamura stops him, and starts falling down from the hill with him. Everyone gets worried on seeing this. Also Tora is unable to do anything, because of his injury. Now Nakamura says sorry to Ushio, and says you are not alone. After this, she remembers about a childhood incident. When a boy pushed Nakamura, Ushio got angry with that thing. So he beat him and drove him away, and this actually made her pretty happy. Now both start going to fall down. But then Ushio comes to his senses. Meanwhile, Haiyu's last seal is also broken, after which group of Heiyu comes to attack them. But at the same time Ushio uses Beast Spear, and saves them. Everyone is surprised to see this. After this Tora also helps him, and together they start killing Hyayu. Tora begins to think, was Ushio this strong before? But Ushio tells him to focus on killing Hyayu right now. After this, Tora starts using his fire. Just then Ushio asks Tora, can you produce a giant lightning bolt? Tora says, I won't have any trouble making a big one. Now Ushio asks Tora to drop his lightning power on the beast spear. Because of this, tremendous power is generated here, and all Hyayu are killed in a moment. Everyone is surprised to see this, but Ushio was tired and Tora comes down with him. Seeing his condition, everyone gets worried. Then Izuna says, mostly, he just used up all his energy between the fight and becoming human again. But he'll be fine. After a while, Ushio regains consciousness, but he could not remember anything what he had done. However, Ushio starts telling Tora, I saw a strange man during this. Apart from this, Ushio also starts talking about all the girls. He tells Tora, someday I want to see them all again. Here Shigure, Nagare and Satoru were also tired. But then Ushio decides to go inside the cave. Seeing this, Tora forbids him, because at this time he was weak. But Ushio says, it's apparently where the spear wants to go. After this, Tora also decides to go with him, because he was also getting curious about what is in there. Just then, Izuna starts asking to the girls, Ushio's about to leave, don't you care? To this Saya says, I would love to see him, and truly speak with him, but if he found out that he turned into a beast and attacked us, he probably wouldn't be able to forgive himself. Now Nakamura also was overjoyed, and asks everyone to go back home, because Ushio might be a bit late, but he will come back to them. Then other girls tell her, he is not coming back to us, but he's coming back to you. Now Ushio comes to the front of the cave with Tora, and the two are ready to go inside. After this, both of them start going inside the cave. A temple is seen in front of them, and Ushio is surprised by this. Now even Tora does not understand, what is it doing in a place like this? Suddenly Beast Spear gets activated again, because a part of Hakumen is here. Now both come inside the temple, where Tora was feeling the presence of immense demonic energy. Now Ushio sees a figure like Hakumen in the wall here, and starts panicking. Then Tora explains, this is just a part of him, that's already dried up. Now Ushio thinks he is dead. Just then he tries to attack Ushio, because of which Ushio gets scared. Then Tora says, he's not something that will die that easily, because he is Hakumen. After this, Tora attacks with his flame, but his flame gets bent. Suddenly someone appears in front of them, and says, I have been waiting a long time, wielder of the beast spear. He tells his name Tokasaka and says, I can answer all your questions. But Tora says, I have never heard of you. Then Tokasaka says, I know you very well, Nagato Bimaru. Ushio asks Tokasaka, what are you gonna tell me? Then Tokasaka says, you will know everything soon enough. But now, we shall be off, to the time and place that spear was made. Hearing this, Ushio is shocked. Then Tokasaka explains, I'm a monster that travels through time. 850 years ago, Hakumen tried to destroy Japan, so the yokai of this country engaged in a grueling battle. Despite that, the humans and monsters joined forces. Then Hakumen realized it was time to retreat, so he fled, scattering parts of his body all the way. Most of these body parts scattered across Japan were destroyed by Japan's monsters over time. But the biggest part is kept here, and this is his actual body, which fled. Ushio asks Tokasaka, why didn't they just finish him off back then? Then Tokasaka explains, they lacked a certain power, needed to destroy him once and for all. They realized that they didn't have the beast spear. They searched for the spear back then, but could not find it. And then two central figures on the human side thought of something absolutely ridiculous. After this, in flashback we see a master and a lady. Master wanted to use this part of Hakumen to locate the spear. Lady says, indeed the spear will not fail to come here, but I shall keep watch over the escaped Hakumen. Master is shocked on hearing this and asks, who are you? Then the lady says, I am GMA, the younger sister of the beast spear's creator, and actually, I am her reincarnation. Now Ushio gets confused by these things, because he also saw GMA. Then Tokasaka says, you'll be finding that out with your own eyes. After this Tokasaka uses his power, and they travel 2,200 years back in China. Suddenly the beast's spear disappears, because this place exists before the spear's creation. Now Tokasaka says, I will come pick you up when the time comes, and disappears from here. Suddenly both of them fall down, where they see a lady in front of them, and she looked exactly like Inoue, so both understand that she is actually GMA. Now Ushio tells her his name. Hearing this, the lady becomes happy, because she thought he was a monster. However, GMA cannot see Tora. After this, GMA also tells Ushio her name. Just then Tora realizes that an evil demonic energy is permeating this whole area. But Tora senses even worse is present beyond the wall. Now Tora alerts Ushio about the monster. Suddenly a monster comes here, and tries to attack Ushio. But Tora saves him and kills the monster with his lightning power. Now because of this GMA feels, Ushio has defeated this terrifying monster, so she becomes happy and takes Ushio to her house. GMA's mother thanks Ushio for saving her daughter. After this she says that Hakumen has returned. Ushio is shocked to hear about this. Then she starts telling, our king saw the great yokai in the form of a woman, that destroyed everything around here 500 years ago. For that reason alone, the king killed 80 of his concubines. And now he thinks, a weapon of the gods can defeat Hakumen. So he made the announcement, to forge a sword that can destroy Hakumen. And the one who will be able to create this sword, will receive abundant wealth and high status. GMA tells Ushio, my father is a swordsmith, who is working daily to create a divine sword. After some time, the older brother of GMA also comes back. His name was Gurayu and he went to learn how to forge powerful swords. That's when Ushio wonders, is Gurayu that person, who is creating Beast Spear? Now GMA welcomes her brother. Then Gurayu tells his father, it is true that Hakumen is in this country. The father is shocked to hear this. Then Gurayu tells, I heard it during my travels. 1 year ago, a shooting star with 9 tails was seen, falling toward this land. After this, the father starts forging a divine sword, to give it to the king. Ushio thinks Beast Spear's about to be created, because GMA's father was working so hard on this. GMA tells Ushio that my father was a priest, and swordsmith to the royal household, but a distant relative made an attempt on king's life, so he was caught and executed, along with his whole family. But our family managed to escape execution and we were banned from the castle. But my father believes, if he creates a divine sword, the king will one day forgive us. Just then father comes out with the divine sword. But he was very sad, because he worked so hard to obtain this fine steel, but it was cracking every time, so he didn't know what to do. That's when Gurayu says, there is one way. I learned techniques for sword creation from other lands, and I heard of one technique that makes use of the dark arts. On hearing this, his father starts asking about it. Just then Gurayu's mother cuts her hair, because Gurayu told her he needed a woman's hair, in order to forge a divine sword. Now Gurayu's father is happy with this, and together with Gurayu starts forging the divine sword. 4 days passes, they throw hair into the fire, and it mixes with the metal, and then finally the divine sword is created. Now he believes, this is surely the divine sword, that will destroy Hakumen. The next day, many priests go to the king, with the divine sword they have made, where a divine sword will be chosen from among these. Gurayu's father believes his sword will be chosen, and then he can return to being the royal priest once more. But Tora was on edge, ever since he entered the castle walls. Just then, we see Hakumen was already here in the form of a woman. He starts saying, you created divine swords to defeat me? I was planning to drive the king into madness, to destroy this country, but I am going to change the game. Now Hakumen kills 9 women with his 9 tails, and seeing this, everyone gets scared, because Hakumen was about to kill other people along with the king. But every priest feels, they can defeat him with power of their divine swords. Then Hakumen starts saying, just what did you intend to fight with these pathetic guards, and these worthless swords? Hakumen then returns to his true form and kills all the guards in single attack. Seeing this, Gurayu's father and many priests go to attack him, but Hakumen was very powerful. He destroys all divine swords in a moment, and he kills all the priests as well, in which Gurayu's father is also killed. Now everyone gets surprised because of this. That's when Hakumen goes to attack them too. Seeing this, Tora tells Ushio to run away. After this, Hakumen attacks with his power, and Ushio tries to save everyone. But he accidentally fails to save Gurayu's mother and she is also killed. Tora is also injured in this attack. But now Ushio gets very angry, and goes to attack him with Beast Spear. Suddenly something happens to him, and he stops in front of Hakumen. After this the episode ends. But if you have missed the previous part, then definitely watch the video of the left side.